Hey y'all, Stacy here. I'm excited to share my warm reviews of the 25 Bring Back My bars that are going to be available on January the 1st of 2025. As a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25-watt and up Scentsy Warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant. They're typically on for 15 hours a day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. This has been such a fun Bring Back My bar round for me. I think there's a great variety. There are some that aren't for me, but that doesn't mean they won't be for you. I'm going to just share what my experience is, and at the very end, I'll share a couple of mixes that I found along with my favorites. Now, this is Summer Sippen, and this is one that I have definitely remembered from the past, and it performed just like I expected to. I got a good 2 days out of it. It was a beautiful raspberry lemonade, just excellent fruity summer bar. I have never clubbed this one. I may pick up one or two more bars, but I don't think I'll club it again just because I think this is fun and I'm glad to have it. But Scentsy is always doing fun things in the fruity summer space, and I like to try what's new, kind of in that family of scents. Now, Uzu Dragon is one that may be a club contender for me for at least a minute, or I might stock up on it. It lists with guava, honey nectarine, dragon fruit, and obviously yuzu. But the thing that I love the most about this is it's incredibly light in the air while still having a good medium throw, if that makes any sense. I live in a very humid climate during the summer months, and fragrances that can hit this note in the summer are wonderful to me. Now, this is Posie Peach, and this is one that I would not be repurchasing for myself. However, if you are a floral lover and you like peach fragrances, I think this might be for you. I do like a lot of peach fragrances, and I think the peach that exists in here is beautiful. I got a good 2 days of performance out of it. For me, there was something about the combination of whatever floral is in here. I think it lists as violet. I'll be sure to put the scent notes up, but it just became a little bit cloying to me around the 8 hour mark, so it's not one that I would purchase again. Lucky in Love is one of those nostalgic scents for me. I definitely remember melting this. I think it does great for me in my open concept, closed concept, and bedroom, but I did do this in my open concept when I melted kind of this new go round, and it lists as mandarin, bergamot, orange, peaches, and berries. I've heard this compared a lot to Victoria's Secret Love Spell, and I definitely see that comparison. It's a beautiful, perfumey, but not overbearing, fruity fragrance, and it's delightful in the space. Ode to Opulence is a surprising fragrance to me. I feel like I have melted this before, but it's not in my spreadsheet, and I was surprised at how bold and fruity it was. It's apricot, blood orange, coconut milk, black currant, and spiced vanilla. It's a really lovely fruity fragrance that I think could melt any time of year. Doesn't lean perfumey. I got 2 days out of it. I definitely think it's open concept worthy. And I didn't pick up the spiced vanilla, but I struggled to pick up spiced vanilla in general. Thunderstorm is a Scentsy bar that is beloved by a lot of folks, and I know they're cheering that it's back. It's a beautiful fragrance, and I definitely get why it's so beloved. I melted this in a bedroom, 2 cubes, went for 3 days, a powerhouse of a performer. You definitely get that breeze in a storm undertone. One of the things that was a challenge for me with this bar in particular, though, was those floral notes stay forward and they're a little bit heady, and that can be headache inducing for me. So I think I'm probably just going to pick up one or two more of those. And next, I did Bergamot and Solar Driftwood. I did this in closed concept living, and it surprised me. It lists as crisp bergamot, mandarin, and dreamy driftwood. For me, this was totally like an ocean air vibe almost. When I melted it, I got a great medium throw for 2 days. I am likely to stock up on this because I think it's going to be an excellent, particularly summer bar, and I'm looking forward to grabbing at least a little more of that. Now, Pixie, this is one that I love. I used to melt this all the time in my bedroom. I selected to melt it in my office to give it another go round. I did 2 cubes in my office, and I get great performance. Funnily enough, this does have heliotrope in it, which can be headache inducing for me, but for some reason, this is a floral leaning bar that I can do, and it performs great. It got into 3 days. It's pink pepper, mandarin, heliotrope, teak wood and vanilla oak, and I just adore that bar, so I'm very glad to have the opportunity to put it in my club. This is Lily of the Valley, and I can struggle with lily and lots of different florals, so I was a little nervous about this. Melted it in a bedroom that I don't frequent, but I was so pleasantly surprised with this bar in that it was never headache inducing for me, but I was not just hanging out in the space, if that makes sense. But I did check on it frequently. I got a good 2 days out of it. And to me, this is kind of like the lily version of heirloom rose. I just am transported to the vestibule of the church when they have all those lilies. It's just a beautiful fragrance if you're looking for a lily floral fragrance. Woolly Slippers is one of these fragrances that has just helped me become one with the fact that I do, in fact, cure some Scentsy bars. I enjoy Woolly Slippers, and I did go ahead and melt this. I did 2 cubes in my closed concept living, and I enjoyed it greatly. It's a beautiful herbal lavender, and it lists as a sugared lavender, but I feel like when this bar is newer, the lavender is incredibly dominant. And if you allow it to sit for a little bit, the marshmallow and vanilla kind of balance out and they play beautifully together. It's one of those bars to me that I don't need a ton of cubes for, so I'm likely to just stock up and not club up. I melted Taj Mahal in a guest bedroom because I was a little afraid of the perfumey vibes that I got on Cold Sniff. It's definitely a floral dominant perfume, so it's not a bar that I would gravitate towards, but I can tell you that in that guest bedroom, it had a good throw and it went for a day and a half, and I was not uncomfortable when I visited the room. So not a repurchase for me, but if you're a floral perfume lover, it might be for you. Snuggle Up is a powerhouse of a laundry scent. I did 2 cubes of this in my closed concept living that adjoins my laundry room. It went for 2 days at a medium to a medium strong throw. It lists as cashmere woods with lavender and sage. I definitely get the lavender and sage. The cashmere woods, not so much. It smells like fluffy sheets to me, and it is a laundry that's palatable, so I really do enjoy it. The second time that I melted this, I did a 2-to-1 Berry Bubble Blue to Snuggle Up, and that was amazing. So I may actually end up clubbing Snuggle Up for a minute. Nobody's more surprised than me at that. Now, this is key lime pie, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more at the end, but I will just from a performance perspective say that this for me lasted about 12 hours, and it's a beautiful key lime pie filling. It did not get over or to the 15-hour mark, but it's still a good medium throw. Berry Tart is one that stole my heart. I melted it in my office and was just completely happy with it. I do believe that I got a nice full 15 hours out of it. The second day was a bit of a crazy in and out day, so I do know I got a little bit more than 15 hours, but I'm not sure quite how much. Now, this is a beautiful berry fragrance. I definitely pick up the pastry note, and there's a candle that I really love from a candle company that's called Jelly Donut, and this really reminded me of that. So I'm either adding it to my club or my cart, not sure which yet. Now, banana nut bread, you guys, this is a classic Scentsy fragrance. It was one of the first Scentsy fragrances, and I do have, I think, a little bit of an atypical experience with it. I love this bar and it's absolutely worth it to me, but I get the same kind of performance that I get out of apple cherry streusel. So to me, it's more typical with this bar that I'm going to get 8 to 12 hours, and that was true. I did this in my kitchen and open concept, and I got a nice full 8 hours. It's a beautiful banana nut bread fragrance, and I'll be looking to grab some more. Now, this is pumpkin tiramisu, and this is the one that I was elated to see come back. I love this fragrance. It is a beautiful pumpkin with brown sugar and cream, and I just love it. This smells like memories to me because this is one of the first pumpkin fragrances that I ever melted and loved from Scentsy. So I cannot be unbiased about this one just because it has too much nostalgia for me, I think. But I did get a good day and a half out of the bar, and I did do it in my whole open concept all over my house. I was so happy. Mandarin Toffee Treat is an elegant orange dessert fragrance. It has mandarin with a sugarcane drizzle and a creamy toffee butter. It's sumptuous to me. I really do enjoy this in bedrooms and my closed concept living because of the cozy vibe that it creates. I did get, I think, right around 20 hours out of the bar in those spaces and really enjoyed it. Next, we have Orange Dream Sickle. Now, this is fresh orange with vanilla cream. I struggle to smell vanilla cream. So, for me, I struggle to smell this bar in the same way that other people in my home do. However, it's beloved, and so we're definitely getting some more of it. For the folks that could smell kind of all of this fragrance, they got a full day out of this bar in our open concept, and we're very happy. For me, it trailed off to where I lightly could still smell it at the 8-hour mark, but really kind of died off for me. Cozy Kitchen has been around for a while. It's an oatmeal fragrance, so it's not one that I personally gravitate towards because we do cook oatmeal and that's what I do to get that smell. But for me in my kitchen, I get a nice full day out of it. I do not prefer the second day, so I would pull it after the first day. Sizzling Coconut was an exciting one for me because I don't have any recollection of this and it's not in my spreadsheet. It listed as cinnamon, coconut milk, and rich vanilla. I don't particularly discern the cinnamon, but I think it may be giving it that roasty, toasty vibe. And the first day, I really did love the fragrance. On the second day, I felt like it was one note, but I did it in my kitchen. You can get 2 days out of it. I just like Cozy Kitchen, prefer the first day. Now, this one is simply cinnamon, and to me, this is just cinnamon bark. It seems like it's a blender bar. It's very one note. I did this in my office, and I love spice and I love cinnamon, and this was very warm, but I feel very much like this bar is intended to be blended. And so that's definitely what I would use it for. If I was blending with like patchouli or a leaf scent, this would maybe be the cinnamon that I would gravitate towards, but it's not one that I would reach to melt on its own. Now, something that I will be melting a lot on its own is this beautiful cherry clove chutney. Spoiler alert, I loved this one. And the star of this show to me is the Bing cherries. It's got Bing cherries as the top note listed, then it's got cloves and cinnamon, and I think this is a wonderfully balanced bar. But the Bing cherries in this is sweet, but it also has almost like a lemon zest. I know that that's not listed. It doesn't go although it's not like sour to my nose, but it is complex and beautiful. I got 2 days out of it in my office, and that is one that I am going to enjoy a great deal. Sedona Sunset surprised me because I had given this 4 stars in my spreadsheet. So I had tried it before and I knew that I had a positive experience with it, but I really didn't remember it. It lists as desert sky, desert lily, vanilla orchid, coconut milk, and ethereal jasmine. Because it's a floral, I did choose to melt it far and away because of my tendencies to get headaches. And then ultimately, I decided to melt the rest of it in my office. It's beautiful. I got a nice day and a half, I would say, out of it. And it's kind of hard to describe. I know there are florals there, but it's more of an aromatic. Cranberry Spice I knew was going to be an office melt for me. I love this bar. It's got clove, it's got ginger, and it's got what lists as a tart cranberry, but I disagree. I think it's a sweet cranberry, perhaps with a little bit of lemon zest. This is a beautiful chutney fragrance, like a cranberry chutney sort of vibe. In my home, this was a bar that started out wonderful and then just continued to become more of what made it so awesome. It's just warm and rich and beautiful. I'm not sure which day I preferred more because by day 2, it was just a bit spicier, a bit warmer, and oh, just absolutely decadent. But day 1 was also awesome. 2 days, medium throw, love it. In stark contrast to Cranberry Spice, this is Orange Clove Pomander. Now, Cranberry Spice says hello as soon as you put it in the warmers in my home. This bar is a very low intensity bar. It still has a medium throw, but it takes a moment to fill my space. I would say about 30 minutes. And then once it does, it stays at a light intensity, but has this awesome medium throw. I love it. It's ginger, clove, and vanilla. And even if you are not a super spice lover, you may find this cozy and inviting. It's the kind of fragrance that in my home, I can almost forget that it's there. It's very much in the background, but it's providing this elevated, cozy elegance that I adore. As promised, I do want to share with you a little quick mix idea I had with key lime pie filling. Now, this bar is primarily just key lime pie filling, and I was hoping to get a little more pie crust and a little more coconut. And I discovered two bars inside this collection that I think can help to get you closer there in alternate warmers. So, in my first alternate warmer, I did the Sizzling Coconut. In the next warmer, I put Cozy Kitchen to start. Now, this did get pretty close to me to what I wanted from a key lime pie scent. It had the crust note or something close to it provided by the Cozy Kitchen, but I wasn't fully satisfied with the crust note, so I gave it another try with Ginger Cookie Crunch, which is also currently available, and this was stunning to me. These three together gave me what I was looking for with a crust note, a pie filling note, and that kind of warm coconut topping. I just loved this together. The Ginger Cookie Crunch is the longer lasting of these bars. The key lime pie filling for me, it really does not get up to that 15 hours, and I don't prefer the coconut over 15 hours. So for me, I did remove these after the first day. I think Ginger Cookie Crunch for me does go into the second day, but I removed Ginger Cookie Crunch at the same time I removed the other two because at that point they were just one thing and I really love it. I can see myself doing that quite a bit. I'd love to hear in the comments if you try it, what your thoughts are. Now it's time for me to do my top six-ish picks. As typical, I could not pin it down to just six, but you know, if you were paying attention, I can't not put pumpkin tiramisu at my top. I had such feelings when I popped this in. It's just my number one. It's pure nostalgia, but I love it. Now, my number two, I am giving to Orange Clove Pomander because it is so elegant and I think crowd pleasing. It's a very elevated bar, in my opinion. Now, banana nut bread is a fun classic, and I feel like it has to be near the top just because it's banana nut bread. It's the origins of Scentsy, so I do love it. I love melting it, and I don't mind that I get usually less than a day out of it, but it's a beautiful banana bread fragrance. Now, had all other warming experience been put aside, Cranberry Spice might be a little bit higher on this list. I adore this bar, and I know I'm going to be melting quite a lot of it. So at number four, I feel like it's still getting the honor that it deserves. Pixie is another nostalgic bar for me, but this is also such a great palette cleanser for my kind of melting style. So I love that it has these floral notes and I can sit and live and have it in my common space. So it gets spot number five. Rounding out my top six is in fact Woolly Slippers. I only like this bar today, but I know in a few months I'm going to love it. So it's here for what it will become, not who it is right now. Now, in this top three, I would say banana nut bread is maybe one of the more controversial bars. I feel like the other two are really broadly appealing. So if you are not a person who likes banana, my number seven bar is berry tart. I really enjoy this. It is a gorgeous, sweet, beautiful pastry. It's so delicious. It's good and a solid bar. When I look at all of these, there is one of note that I feel like it's probably my number eight when I'm ranking these bars. And surprisingly, it's Thunderstorm. I feel like it deserves an honorable mention because even though for me, I'm still a little tentative about the floral presence in this bar, it is so unique. I've not smelled anything else comparable to it. And for me, that's part of the fun of these kinds of adventures of Bring Back My Bars, just stretching and reaching into new spaces. So I do think these are my top six, and I can't wait to hear what your top six are below. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you've tried these, and if you haven't tried them, which ones you think you might be going to take a peek at this season. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to reading your comments. We'll talk to you soon.